Hey guys, welcome to Ossiana Makes Contents, Ossiana's Creator Life. And today we're going to have a little bit of a chat about what's going on with Newsbreak because I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I got kicked off of Newsbreak. I mentioned it on a earlier article on becoming a writing rock star. That's my writing blog if you're interested in learning how I experience the craft, how I do this, that, and the other. And well, it's left a bunch of people scratching their heads. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Newsbreak, about why people joined in the first place, what's been going on, why a lot of people left, and whether or not it's even a good idea to reapply. So stick around.
So let's start off with the most obvious part. How did all this come about? Well, as you can see here, this is the email that I got when it came to me that I was being kicked off of Newsbreak. For most of us, it appears to be that our last day on the contributor portal and being able to track all of the little odds and ends that come with being a Newsbreak writer is going to be April 15th. After that, we're not going to be able to get into our old contributor portal. We're not going to be able to publish anything else, and we're going to have to reapply in order to remain a Newsbreak contributor. Wild, right? Now that we've gone over that, let's talk a little bit about the Newsbreak of yore. Back in the day, Newsbreak was poised to actually overtake Medium and Substack both as the premier place of news, all sorts of social media. It was supposed to be a major thing. It was very heavily funded. And for a while, it also had a very good contributor referral program where you could get $50 per person that you referred. I know quite a few people on Medium who actually made a small fortune doing that. And, $50 a person, that can add up really quick. Um, when it first started out, I was seeing people talk about how they were making $1,000 days. Some of my close friends, including Joe Duncan, he was one of the early adapters, and he was getting like $1,000 a month from Newsbreak. It was really looking like it was going to be the next. It was going to be the next big thing, but it was almost like overnight the payouts ceased, or I should say, ceased to be worth it. And I'm going to show you a little bit about like where my payouts currently are, and you're going to understand what I mean. You actually would make less money. Just you would actually make more money just doing DoorDash than doing Newsbreak as is right now, especially if you're an indie writer. The only writers who I've been seeing actually getting somewhere as a Newsbreak partner were people who were associated with like major news events, like Asbury Park Press, major event crews. Everybody else was just not getting where they should be. And that was like one of the biggest problems. So a lot of us, including myself, we kind of just got disgruntled about it, and we're like, you know what, we don't want to waste our time even posting on here because we don't like the way that they're treating us, at least financially. um a while back there was also an issue of trolls, and the trolls actually were so aggressive with me that I publicly called them out. And I said that it was a very toxic environment. Almost immediately overnight, I stopped getting any sort of like rude remarks, but I also stopped getting any sort of traffic. So I'm wondering what that means about them. So, with that said, I do want to give the benefit of a doubt to Newsbreak because obviously they have had some major scandals in the past. I'm not the only one who's seen fake news being peddled on there. I have been told multiple times of people, peddling pure and simple conspiracy theories. So, what I think is probably happening is I think that Newsbreak is actually trying to cull the herd a little bit, trying to figure out whether or not, contributors are actually worth paying, whether or not the contributors that they have on the site are actually giving good news. And if they are, maybe they'll pay. Or at least that's what I would do if I was in their shoes, because obviously they do have some content issues. But let's talk a little bit more about what I actually think is happening. Now, Newsbreak does have ties to China, and I've noticed a large spike in AI. I'm not the only person who's noticed this. So I applied to become a contributor again, simply because I hope that at least if they cull the herd of like really bad contributors, bad actors, maybe we'll see a pay raise. But am I actually very hopeful of this. Absolutely not. I am quite skeptical. And I think that everybody should be, because so far their track record with creators, especially those who are not major news agencies, has not been the best. Um, as for me, I want to see what happens if I get accepted, if I don't. And if I do get accepted, I want to see what the payouts are like and then maybe report back, because that's kind of like what I do. So that wraps it up for this particular recording. In a little bit, I'm going to be doing another one about content creators such as models, um, people who do the whole OF thing or whatever. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up as to how I've been bracing myself for the current tariff wars and what I've been doing to try to lower my bills for the upcoming couple of months. But until then, thank you for watching. Bye.